First ever Saga review video. One Piece East Blue Saga review. Let's go. Loguetown Anime coming at you with another video, and it's gonna be a part of my arc/saga reviews playlist on my channel. I must warn you, go check it out, like it if you like all the content of that video or some of the content. I have arc reviews ranging from different types of manga. You can get your Hunter x Hunter, your Berserk, your Naruto, your Bleach, your One Piece, etc, etc, etc. But for now, I'll be focusing on One Piece, and I'll be reviewing a saga. And this is my first saga video. If you've seen my arc/saga reviews playlist or some of my videos before, I've done arcs from different series, but I'm doing a saga, and it's comprised of a multitude of arcs that are hanging down. And generally this video would be longer, but it's One Piece, so you'll stay around for it, right? Yeah, man, yeah. So there we go. Loguetown Anime East Blue Saga review starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. One Piece, we all know, was made by writer, drawer, artist, publisher Ichiro Oda, okay? And the East Blue Saga spans chapters 1 through 100 exactly, and volume 1 through 12, okay? And it holds 6 arcs in them. It holds the Romance Dawn arc, which isn't very long. It holds the introduction of Luffy and Kobe, and moreover to Roronoa Zoro. And we have next the Loguetown arc, where it introduces Buggy and Zoro and Nami, and introduces their first actions as they work together as a crew. And then we go over to the Syrup Village arc, when they travel to another village and they meet up with their newfound crew member Usopp, and they have to go over and fight over the town of Syrup Village. I'm sorry, the village of Syrup against the Captain Kuro pirates, or the Cat pirates. I'm not sure how you necessarily call them. Then we head over to the next arc, which goes on another island, which is the Baratie arc, which pretty much introduces Sanji as the next crew member, but it develops some characters. You get a slight bit of backstory, or initial character development, I would say, and I'll define how initial character development is different from character development. All right. And then you have the final arc of this saga, the Loguetown. No, not the final. I have 2 more. You have the Arlong Park arc, which is the most hyped arc of this saga. And then you have the final arc. Now we're at the final arc of this saga, the Loguetown arc. So I'll just break it in my video down like this. There's 6 arcs. I'll talk about them each individually for, let's say, 3 minutes. And then I'll have a synopsis of what the importance of all these arcs work together. And somehow I'll be able to talk about all of these, okay? I won't make it feel like that I'm missing something out that I didn't want to talk about, okay? Because it felt like in some reviews that I did that there were some things that I wanted to talk about and touch on, and ideas that I had that I wasn't able to clarify on. So all the ideas that I have, I'm going to put them out there, and hopefully you guys will watch the whole video through. I want you to watch that, and if you can't watch some, then come back later, watch the other. Alright, so first of all is the Romance Dawn arc. It introduces the character of Monkey D. Luffy, and then we get introduced to the character of Kobe. Kobe, we see he's pretty not as confident as he is. He's pretty shy and pretty scared, pretty dense as a character, because he's been forced to work as a pirate on a pirate ship, and he wants to be a Marine, and that's going to sever his ties with the Marines, his future ties that he wants with the Marines, that he believes, because he's been forced to work on a pirate ship. And moreover, with Monkey D. Luffy, he wants to become a pirate himself, so he's gone off, and this is his first journey becoming a pirate. Push comes to shove, and they meet up with a fodder cannon pirate captain in the East Blue named Alvida, and she gets defeated by the rubber stretching boy with mysterious powers named Monkey D. Luffy. And then we get curious about how this guy can do these things, but we just initially take the first couple of chapters as it is. We get introduced to Monkey D. Luffy's backstory regarding him and why he wants to become a pirate, and moreover the Pirate King, as he met over with Shanks. And then we also get introduced to where Alvida again, and then as we see him travel and go on a boat with Kobe and himself, we get to see Monkey D. Luffy head over to a town, and it's governed with a Marine Corps base, and the Marine Corps base over there happens to be corrupt because Loguetown has a corrupt captain. I think he's a captain or a commodore. And the Commodore is named, no, he's a captain, because I remember Captain Morgan, Captain Axe Hand Morgan. And this is the first conflict, the first sort of serious conflict that we get with the characters who we've been introduced to. So Monkey D. Luffy meets up with another character, a female, a small girl, and then he initially meets the first member who is going to join his crew, Roronoa Zoro. We then learn that Roronoa Zoro is going to be executed in a certain amount of days, and he's been lied to that he's going to be free through trying to protect the innocence of a little girl because of the hypocrisy of a son, by using his father's name, which is Captain Axehand Morgan. And we further know in the future that his name is Helmeppo. Later down the line, Helmeppo and Kobe will go on their own ways. But for now, this is what happens in the Loguetown arc. Luffy combats the Marine Corps base over there, and he commits his first act as a pirate. But unfortunately, Luffy isn't convicted as a pirate because the Marines who worked for Captain Axehand Morgan were grateful towards this quote-unquote person who called himself a pirate for saving them. But they couldn't really let them in the town, so they left. And as Luffy recruited the swordsman, the pirate hunter Roronoa Zoro, he's become a pirate, so I guess he's not a pirate hunter anymore. We now see that we're traveling with Monkey D. Luffy and Roronoa Zoro, and we split our ways with Kobe now. So that's the end of the Loguetown arc. And then we head over to the next arc, which is... Oh, no, that's not Loguetown. That's still Romance Dawn. But now we go to Loguetown. Loguetown is when Luffy... It's funny, because Luffy goes over and he tries to catch a bird because they're hungry at sea in a boat, and then he gets caught in the bird's mouth as he shoots himself with his rubber powers. And then Roronoa Zoro has to row all the way back to go to the town that he was dropped at. And Luffy falls sooner or later by the bird not wanting to, digest him, I guess. I guess it was nasty. Or you can't chew rubber. Whatever. And he falls exactly towards a situation where a new character is introduced, and her name is Nami. Nami sees him drop and he thinks he's dead. Like, what the hell, dude? You dropped. But he comes up and he acts like it's nothing. And she uses him as a liaison to escape from the pirates who are chasing her. Little comes the rest. Zoro comes back, and I'm not going to put all the small details into it, but basically Monkey D. Luffy teams up with Burglar Cat Nami, and Zoro comes in, and they face off against the Buggy Clown Pirates, and they win. And then they decide to travel each other and team up, and now Luffy has his second member of the crew in Nami, and also with Zoro. So they travel off, they're on a boat still, and then they head over to the next island, which is called Syrup Village, in the Syrup Village arc. And they're first introduced to a character who will later on become another member of the Straw Hat crew, which is Usopp. And we get introduced to Usopp as a lying character, as a silly character, because he stands up on top of a high hill, and I remember this, and he says, "Beware, pirates! I have 8,000 followers!" And then Luffy's like, "Oh my god!" Like, he's so stupid. And then obviously Nami and Zoro can tell it's a lie. So Usopp comes, and as the arc progresses, we find out there's a betrayal, and Usopp has this crush on this rich female girl, and he has a tendency to tell lies throughout the village, kind of like the Don't Cry Wolf or The Boy Who Cried Wolf story in Usopp. So it was kind of fun watching that, because you can live vicariously through that children's story, and then you can relate to Usopp in that way, because he wanted good intentions for the village after that, because he thought he was doing something good for himself. And then you also got to see how psychologically sort of he was broken by the effects of his mother dying when he was at a young age, and not having that keen father figure, because he decided to be a pirate and board the red-haired Shanks crew. Okay? So as the arc progresses in the Syrup Village, we find out that the butler of the maiden that Usopp was going and telling his lies to, Captain Kuro, he's a captain of a pirate ship, is a genius, and I like Captain Kuro. I think he's one of the best villains, or not if the best villain, inside of the East Blue Saga. Yes, I said it. Why? Because he's cunning, and he has an ability that is lethal, and is not involved haki, or is a devil fruit. So I enjoy him for that. And as the arc progresses, Luffy, we haven't seen him go all out in the fight, and we see more of his rubber powers, and he defeats Captain Kuro, and other members of the crew like Nami, Usopp, Zoro fight off against the cat pirates. I don't know what's the name of them, the Kuro pirates or whatnot. And we see characters like Django, who we'll see later on next in the series, and it's fun. And Usopp gets recruited to the crew with development from Usopp. Okay, and as we get there, we're introduced to another key figure, which is going to be in a later saga down the road, which is the Going Merry. The Going Merry is a gift from the maiden who had the rich house and who was betrayed by the butler. So the maiden gives them a ship that was made by the other butler who looked like a goat. I can't remember his name right now. So I think her name was Kaya. Kaya was the name of the maiden. Yeah. And then they get a boat, Going Merry. So now they have a pirate ship. So now they transfer to another kind of restaurant place to where it's with the Baratie, and the Baratie is all here. And this is the introduction of the Baratie arc. It's a Baratie restaurant, and then we get introduced to the final recruit of the Straw Hat Pirates inside of the East Blue Saga, which is Sanji. And Sanji basically is a master cook who Luffy wants to recruit onto his crew. And a lot of things happen in the Baratie arc, from Nami actually taking the Going Merry ship and going on her ways and accomplishing her goals, which will be happen in the next arc. And then we get to see the development or the backstory of Sanji and how he relates and doesn't want to leave the Baratie ship and all he has behind, even though his cook members and his crew members, you can say, because he's on a ship, on a Baratie ship, how they want him to leave to go accomplish his dreams as a cook on a pirate ship. But now we get to see how he develops and goes and changes his mind and thinks that he doesn't owe his life and throw his life away because of a man who literally threw his life away for him. And we get to see how Monkey D. Luffy is much more present towards his goal. And Sanji can live vicariously through Monkey D. Luffy's persistence and goals as he fights with Don Krieg because Redfoot Zeph, I believe, speaks with Sanji and says that you need to look at him and that you see that he has a will to accomplish his dreams and you should be going with that guy. And I think that confirms a lot more about the development of Sanji in the future and affirms a lot more of my character profile of Monkey D. Luffy in my previous video. But now that we've seen that the Baratie arc basically left questions and mysteries about what would happen with Draco Mihawk, because specifically he was introduced, and we get to see Roronoa Zoro develop between promising that he'll never lose again, Sanji develop into taking responsibility and, you know, going after his own goals. We get Monkey D. Luffy introduced more as a character because we get to see how hard he's taking a strive for his ambitions, and Usopp's in the background taking it in, and he's kind of our reaction guy. He's the guy like us. He's seeing how these characters and he's reacting to these different character dynamics, and we could live vicariously through him. So the end of the Baratie arc, Sanji joins the crew. There's a sad opening. He cries and everything. The whole crew cries, the Baratie I mean, and we go off to the next arc, the Arlong Park arc. Arlong Park, a lot of people like to hype this up and they'd say, oh my god, the Arlong Park arc was the best thing in the East Blue Saga and yada yada yada. But my personal opinion, I think it's the next arc after this Arlong Park. But this is very good. This was a good second best. And the Arlong Park basically had the best characterization for introducing characters inside of the One Piece series today, or second to best, because not only did we get backstory about how Nami is doing certain things and how her life was beforehand when she went with Monkey D. Luffy, we also got to see the character progression and reactions of the crew to how they learned about these stories. And even we get more improvement and more definition of Luffy's character by seeing what actions that he's taking. I mean, for 90% of the arc, he didn't even know that about Nami's past and what happened with Nami's adopted mother and his town for 8 years and what struggles he had to go for it. But once he learned that, that pushed him over the edge. And we can see just throughout the character of Monkey D. Luffy that even though he's a pirate on top of a pirate ship, he has a sense of justice and loyalty and a sense of protecting his friends and his nakama. And moreover, we get to see Sanji's character, as he says before, he would do anything to protect a beautiful young lady. And more of Roronoa and Usopp, they're supporting their people and captaining their efforts, and they're believing the cause because they know their backstory. And moreover, you get the obstacle of Arlong, which is a new thing because we get introduced to the fishermen who are later on coming into the series, and we get to see for the first time discrimination against different species. And that was a challenging thing about the arc, that Oda, the writer, was able to put some type of real world topic in there about racism and discrimination, and then we were also introduced to these different characters and how these characters will climax against the challenge against facing these different species who are generally believed to be more dangerous and more powerful than them. By the end of the arc, it's more clarified that Nakama is a big thing coming on into the crew, and that Monkey D. Luffy, Roronoa, Sanji, Usopp, and Nami are officially here as a pirate crew. And by the end of the arc, you can see and you notice after they leave, and after they leave the island where Nami's hometown is that they're here to stay because Luffy gets his first official bounty. And now to the last arc, the Loguetown arc, which I think is the best arc of this series and capped off the East Blue Saga in a well-written fashion. It literally gave the history upon the One Piece world and evaluated more about what these characters' dreams were and goals were. I'll fast forward to almost the end when they were going to travel to the Grand Line. They all swore their dreams and their goals and ambitions, and that's what was driving them to join the Straw Hat crew initially. But from the Loguetown, you got to see some filler in place, but we got to face off and see against different figures like Commodore Smoker, and see Alvida with her devil fruit sexiness, and see Buggy the Clown again. And we were reaffirmed with the characters of this series was that this was going to take a long road to get there, and it was establishing that once they get past this hurdle of Loguetown and going back to where the Pirate King died, and going back to a place that was nicknamed the land of the beginning and the end, then it would reaffirm that there was something special going on with each and every one of these pirate crew characters. And I know that there are other Straw Hats who join in, but these 5 who are here right now are going to be key to how a lot of things happen into this series regarding the Straw Hat crew. You know, you may have your other people right now who are joining in after, but these characters are going to be the heart and the will of the Straw Hat crew. And I think that's the most important thing. And other abiding facts is that we get development through... No, I'm not going to say development. I'm going to say introductions. Smoker, we get introduced to a Max figure, you know. He protects Luffy from a Smoker's attack because obviously Smoker would have been able to defeat Luffy, and Luffy wouldn't have been able to escape Loguetown, and the pirate adventure would have been over because the captain wouldn't have been there. So that's why I think Loguetown is the best arc, and then Arlong Park is behind. So I'll rank all of them 1 through 6. Like I said, number 6, I'll give Romance Dawn arc. You know, it was first initially introducing characters and things were getting cooked up. So I'm not blaming it too much on that. And then I'll give number 5 to people are going to be shocked about this, the Baratie arc. I'll give number 5 to the Baratie arc because I think it introduced Sanji as a character well, but I really didn't need to be reaffirmed upon Luffy's will to fight and how hard he fought against Don Krieg. But it was good how Sanji was living vicariously through Luffy's goals, and how Redfoot Zeph was speaking to him and influenced Sanji at that point. I thought that was a great moment for initial character development. And I mean initial character development as in what happens as how the character develops when he's first introduced into the series. And then regular character development is how he's developed through a course of the series, okay? So, if that makes sense to you guys. And number 4, I'd have to rank number 4 on the Orangetown arc. Orangetown, you know, with fighting against Buggy and how Luffy was fighting against the other people, and we get to learn about these side stories that were meh, but it was entertaining because Buggy was there, and we all know how funny Buggy is, and we get to see Monkey D. Luffy defeat his first pirate, and we get to see another, you know, devil fruit power, and Buggy had an interesting devil fruit power, and it was a funny situation, so I give it 4. Number 3, we'd have to have the Syrup Village arc with Captain Kuro. Again, Captain Kuro was the best villain in case of genius, flexibility, and physical feats. You know, well, not physical feats as in strength, but as in quickness and agility, and knowing when to strike at the right time. You know, it was awesome because Captain Kuro would come out of nowhere with out of the bag attack, and then he disappear, and then he come behind you with his knives like this, and it'd be like, oh, did you see that when he was with the Cat Burglar brothers, man? I'm sorry, I'm fanboying, but still. it was cool. I like that. So Syrup Village is in place in third, and second, as you know that I said before, Arlong Park arc. Arlong Park definitely gave the most emotional drives for the characters, and it got many people invested into the arc. And I know more people would say, moreover, in the East Blue Saga that the Arlong Park arc was the better arc over the Loguetown arc. But I have to put Arlong Park in second. And then in first goes the Loguetown arc for what it did. It established that this series was here though to stay, that these characters' ambitions were here to stay, and that there was going to be much more questions than answers we were going to get at the time, because they were going off into a new world and joining off. And I like the not the philosophical, but I'll say the, what's that word I'm looking for, man? I hate when I don't find words in videos and they're recording me and shit and you're thinking, oh, it's retarded. But no. That, you know, vicariously, like a symbol. Like symbols as in the town of the beginning and the end. And you get to think about the Straw Hat Crew. When is their beginning and when's the end for them? And now that we know currently when this video is being uploaded that that's going to be a long stretch away, still, we get to see we get to see more of a philosophical slight development of the story and the characters at the same time that we didn't get much from the latter four or five. Okay, so that's how I rank the arcs from least to top, in my opinion. That's what I believe about the arcs. That's how I put the synopsis and summary of the arcs. The characters overall, I gave my opinions in each arc, and I developed them quite concretely. And I usually do this so I can make sure I have all point stuff. If you already know I did this, then hey, you already know I did it. So shut the fuck up, bitch. Alright, this has been Dorkin Anime. Like or dislike this video, it doesn't matter, as long as you get my name out there. All the quality content with none of the filler. And if you don't know what that is, then you need to watch more anime. Watch out again. Next week I'll be coming up with another arc review. I have another saga review when I can find other sagas and series besides One Piece. But One Piece is the only series where I find that they've categorized it into sagas. If you guys know series that have sagas and I should get invested into them, tell me. Or I haven't done the research, because I have certain series that I have labeled as arcs and sagas that I'm going to review over time. So tell me, you guys, and put your comments down below. But most importantly, it's a video response. Most importantly, the video response and what you thought about what I said in the video, and your analysis of this video and your analysis of the topic is the better thing. So I'll see you guys later. It's been Dorkin Anime. Peace.